Well, well, well. The gang's all here. Looks like these glasses are a little fog-tastic. Bear with me. Gotta clean my shits. See my real eyes, my beauty. What's good, y'all? Better. Happy Tuesday. How y'all feeling? Welcome to another special edition of Keepin It Playa. Yeah, got to keep it playing. Oh man. December 9th. That's the day. Can you believe it, y'all? 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks until we start a brand new year, man. That time be flying, boy. Flying. Flying. Every time we get here, I just be like, wowzers. Wowzers. Man, but I'm happy though. I've learned to start making the most of each day. I've learned to start controlling the controllables. And when doing that, it makes things a little bit easier, if that makes sense. You know. Let me change it. Shout out to my people. Shout out to Joey and you know, my people, Glorilla, but I don't want to get hemmed up. They'll cancel my shit real quick. How y'all feeling though, man? Another day, another dollar, or 50 cents, depending on how you getting taxed. You know what I mean? But still I rise. No reason to complain. Don't make it any better, you know what I mean? Never makes it any better. Trust me. But we going to my boy in the building finally stayed awake. Yeah. In the building. Make sure you like the live player. Make sure you like the live so that thing can circulate. You know, we getting started. Let me pin some nice titles so we can get into it. That's all. But what y'all been up to, man? Look at what? Let me sip on my sparkling. Let me crack a can open. Sound like Stone Cold. It's sparkling water. Ooh, peach. Let me live. It's a blessing. Tonight's episode, I might as well tell you now. The Dr. Knight Rider was, my boy. Good to see you. We were just talking about you. That peach be hitting. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Listen. You got to enjoy the finer things in life, man. We are not promised. And damn it, peach sparkling water. People will try to convince you, go get you some ramen, get you some caviar. Peach sparkling water, please. But tonight's episode is appropriately titled, If Blankman was acting like that off a kiss, there's no way he can handle getting the draws. No way. There's no way. Let me dab him one more time and let y'all see my eyes. I'm trying to get these things looking clean. I should have used my lens wipe. Play as fuck up, PFU. Excuse my language. Sometimes y'all let people look into gaze if they will. Mainly baddies. But sometimes you gotta look a joker in their face before you slap them. Hood education is crazy. He's talking about if he said he disagrees. He said Blankman would have made it through. J5 would have had to talk him through it. Having your robot talk you through it is crazy. A5 AI assistants in the intimacy department in 1990, what, 5, 6, diabolical. J5. What is going on? Right. Chat GTD. Listen, I posted the clip in my carousel earlier this week of the scene in Blankman which Robin Givens kisses Daryl. No, she kissed Blankman. He was in character. She kissed Blankman, and he sabotaged. He self-destructed. Just reducing the Ball Brothers United to a crumble. But that was only off the kiss. He said, J5, what's happening? He had no clue. And that lets me know, we already know your weakness. We already know your kryptonite. If we can get, look, everybody's like, isn't it all of ours? Don't the draws affect us all? What I'm saying is, what we don't know is this restricted to, I think her name was Kimberly? Is it restricted just to her? Is it applicable to any woman he thought was attractive? Rachel, what's good? What's good? Is it applicable to only Kimberly? Was it applicable to women that he was attracted to? Is he gonna start freaking out? Because then that's a risk. That's a flight risk. And when I see that, I'm like, oh, well, we just gotta get you around a woman. Because you don't know how to handle yourself. Kimberly Johns. What a name. But I don't want to get too deep into the movie, but my part is when David Alan Grier, who is other guy, he comes in there and tells the bad guy, hey, this place got a bomb in here, it's about to blow up. And then the villain is like, hey, get me up out of here. I can't. We only got time to save baby girl. Oh, nah, that wasn't the villain. That was the newspaper dude. See, I ain't watched it in a minute. So he got Kimberly kidnapped, and he got the owner of the newspaper or the owner of the TV channel that she worked for chained up, and the place is about to blow up. So David Allen Greer coming in and talking about something. I'm like, it's a bomb in here. We about to blow up. Little piece over here, little piece over there. So he comes through. He's like, hey, get me out these chains. The dude from the TV station, he's like, I can't. Blankman said we only got time to save baby girl. Oh, man. But back to the point. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Let me look it up for you, because that's a necessity. But the real necessity is Meteor Man, which we will, discuss briefly. But the thing is, right? Blankman, you tripping off a girl kissing you. How in the hell are you going to make it through to consummate the relationship? You ain't ready. You gonna implode. It says, bro, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, but you gotta pay. Apple TV. It's on YouTube. And it's free on Pluto TV. Don't know where you're gonna find Pluto TV, but it is available if you do find it. But this just brings me to my point of why Meteor Man is the better black hero. In my personal opinion, and y'all could discuss this in the comments, who's the best black superhero? And I'll give you several to choose from, either superhero or good guy, right? Blankman, Meteor Man. Are we going to include my boy from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? Low Down Dirty Shame. Hancock. Diamante Music was good. Yeah, squad in the building. And make sure y'all like the live. And if this ain't your forte, we going to YouTube. We going to YouTube afterwards, because we got us. That's where the money. That's where the money at. But anyway, I said Low Down Dirty Shame, Hancock, and then obviously the more modern superheroes. Green Lantern. Don't let them lie to you, y'all. Green Lantern is black. Green Lantern is black. Static Shock, who has a case. For the YNs, he got a case. The dude from Teen Titans, I F with him. Luke Cage for the Ball Brothers. And then you got to go to Wakanda. What the Black Panther represents for the community, it makes it a hard fight. But without Meteor Man, that's where I was coming from. Without your forefathers, without your ancestors, how do we even get here? Meteor Man, when that Joker learned how to do karate for 30 seconds, get him Kung Fu Larry. Kung Fu Larry. He whooped Kung Fu Larry little ass. Hey, I can understand getting to the Hulk level, but if you ain't got this, and I'm telling you, bro, y'all sleeping on Meteor Man. When that man got shot up by the Golden Lords, Golden Lords was dancing in the mall like this. Shout out to the Golden Lords. I dressed up as I dressed up as a Golden Lord before I went to the bald headed series. But the way he manhandled the Golden Lords and Luther Vandross, because Luther Vandross was part of the crime world, got all them up out of here. That's tough. That's what was crazy. We got to keep it all the way real, right? Black Panther in the movie. Never mind. I ain't gonna disrespect T'Challa. I digress. Y'all can drop who you think. He said Luke Cage gets the Hulk level. He said Hancock. I'm sticking with my boy. I ride Meteor Man. Now, what y'all get into this week, man? I had a very interesting week. We got to go to the TIDAL office in New York. My artist, Johnny Quest the Rebel, was selected to take part in the creator panel, which goes to the TIDAL office. For those who are not familiar, TIDAL is one of the popular digital streaming platforms a la a Spotify or Apple Music that was originally founded or pioneered or led by Jay-Z, amongst other popular artists. And we went up there, played, they got to play music. Shout out to the Digilog as well, who helped put the event together. But we went up there, they got to play music, went through several workshops and panels to continue to build up as an artist. Great experience. I'm going to just keep it all the way real. I got up there, tried to walk up there. They threw my black ass out. Like Uncle Phil. They said, hey, man, no management teams, only the artists. I said, who in the hell? You know what I been through to get up here? Y'all ever seen a Thin Line when they had to drag Martin out and his feet was dangling? Well, shout out to my peoples at TIDAL. Mainly my boy Juan. But I told Juan, I said, Juan, when I come back, they better be throwing the rose petals. It is my birthday. But in addition to that, I had the pleasant honor. I announced that I was invited to attend the 2026 Grammy Awards, which is Brother Beanz. Cut it out. Beanz. Stop. But sir, what my boy say from Harlem, from Hoodlum, don't make me have to raise up. He said, Illinois, don't make me have to raise up. You drunk off that King Kong. You drunk off yourself. Anywho. Yeah, man, it's an honor. I'm still in the midst of somewhat like an imposter syndrome. Don't really fully know, my intentions to attend. But I probably will, I just, for me, man, I'm very community based. Also just trying to prioritize what's important to me at the moment and things in terms of trying to build. And while it's great to be in the building and witness all those things, I get internal motivation. He said, don't piss me off. You're right. He said your bald head ass should have better be there. Your scallywag ass better be up in the building. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Untitled Export, what's good? What's good? You're right. Let me get myself together. Let me stop acting crazy. It's just, man, listen, I was talking to one of my friends. I don't want to give all of the details, but one thing is, like, everything kind of comes with a cost. That's why you gotta have your money right in the music business. You got to have your money right. But the more important element is that it's like, yo, I want to be there with Key. I want to be there with Quest and Cheek, and we in there like waiting for us to get a win. And I initially led with that thought process, but my mom shut that all the way down, and it was just like, yo, how many people do we know that got invited to the Grammys or get the opportunity? I mean, I could, you know what I mean? The Lord could take me. I might not get the chance. So you got to, and like I said, not attending or purposely not attending would be a defeat, or it would go against what I'm trying to be better at leading into this next year, which is just to be in the moment and celebrate. So for that reason, yeah, I'm gonna try to let me lock in. Diamante, way to pull me back. He slapped the hell out of me. The first one brought me back. The second one will get you tossed up out of here. So yeah, big, reasons to celebrate, reasons to continue to believe that we are making the right moves and building. So yeah, I'm gonna try to polish up the body. You know what I mean? I gotta look fly though, man. I gotta look fly. Cause first of all, y'all know if I see my girl Kirby there, if I see Kirby, shut it down. You know what I mean? Shut it down. Taylor Rooks got married, so it's like, hey man, I gotta respect the Lord. But if I see Kirby, shut it down. He said, good evening, my brother. Mercer County Fire Buff. My boy Ronnie in the building. From Garden State Hip Hop. PR Publicist Supreme. Diamante said, get in the door so at the 2027 Grammys you could have the team there. You make sense. You're right, man. It'd be a lot to process. What I have learned this year is that mental health, not saying I was about to, slap nobody, but it's real. A lot of the different elements. We can't just ignore that stuff. But it's like, yo, man, you gotta keep yourself in an elevated mindset. You know what I mean? But when I got the invitation, I was like, you know what I mean? Thought about what I got going on. Thought about my paper. Cause that's what I'm saying. That's when you're getting old. You look at everything at the price tags. I'm like, damn, if I travel to LA, that's going, hey man, gotta have amenities, gotta have accommodations, gotta have other things that start with A. You just start naming stuff. But it's going to the Grammys, man. I went last year for Grammy Week, but we wasn't in the building. We was just out there. That felt even more. That was exciting, but it's like, I was like, yeah, next time I come back, we gonna go. And it was like, now I'm in the space to go. So it's like, don't stop yourself from doing that. But so yeah, and God give you blessings. He don't give you blessings for you to be like, I'll pass. What if God was like, what if you told God, no, God upstairs like, ain't this a B? You can't be playing with God's blessings. So, but yeah, man, things been happening in the right direction. So we're going to keep striving. Let's quickly get into the bald-headed logic for the day. And then we will continue to move. I got some questions of the night for y'all. And we got to get into what are you talking about? Because I know so many people have been talking about this Diddy documentary. So we're going to get into that in momentarily. So the bald-headed logic. What am I saying? The bald-headed logic for tonight. When The Rock said, know your role, it was self-help. Use it. Dr. Swap Neal was good. When The Rock said, know your role, it was self-help. Use it. I've been in a space recently, y'all, where it's like really trying to identify what is my purpose. what is both my purpose, what's my passion, and where do I, land in this world. He said, and shut your mouth. Let the church say amen. But I think in order for you to really have success in the things that you want and with the people that are in your space, it's really important to know where you stand and know, in this case, know your role. I think when we get away from knowing that and being self-aware and not knowing what we bring to the table and what we can bring to the table to make things better, situations get a little spicy, they get a little bit tense and more tense than they need to. There are places, man, it's like, people want to be people want to be a superstar when you need to be a committed role player. Some people want to be a role player when we need you to step up and live in your role as the main option. If you are a provider for your family or in the role of provider, you can't just watch stuff go by. You got to step up. You got to know your role. And consequently, if there's a person there that is designed to be the leader, you can be a person with a voice, but you got to let the leader be the leader. Or let's lead together. The moment you start feeling like, no, this is my show, that's when everything goes wrong. Expanded it a little bit more. I was having a conversation earlier and we was talking about, I make things happen. I got to do things. I got to be the person that gets things done. It's like, hey, let God lead. You know what I mean? With all due respect. You know what I mean? You can walk beside him, but sometimes we put too much on our plate and it's like, I got to give this to, you got to give it to the Lord. When you start thinking that you run stuff, as we were just saying, God has a way of showing you, it's like, hey, bro, know your role. So, and then, like I said, it extends into different, different spaces and different industries and mediums. Even with friendships, it's like, hey, man, like sometimes you play a role and make it and being a person that needs to speak up when you see something that's going wrong or helping holding people accountable. Sometimes you have a role as a lending ear. Whatever your role is, know your role. Bill Belichick says we have to be a star in our role, a superstar in our role. When you identify what that role is and you make it your mission to be a star there, things change, man. If you a husband, you gotta be a husband. You gotta be a provider. You out here trying to run the show. It's like, be a husband. If you a wife, you gotta be a wife. You know what I mean? If you the business person, whatever your role is, y'all, you gotta know your role. Know it, understand it, figure out what the circumstances and not just the restrictions, but everything, the extensions of it. Know your role. Me as a manager, it's like, I gotta know what is asked of me, what are my artists looking for me to do. When I am in the role of a firefighter or driver, what is my role and responsibility? When you start to lose what your role is, things get crazy. Shout out to the chief. I gotta give my boy Chief his respects. Chief Dub, you know what I mean? We on A platoon all day. But it's like Chief always said, I'm saying always, he said it one time and it stuck with me. But Chief said, when we don't know what to do, we do anything. You can't have that, man. That's dangerous. You gotta know your role. All right? So use what The Rock said as help, self-help. Know your role. Shut your mouth. All right? And even using it in the sense that he actually said it. If you out of pocket, know your role and shut your mouth. Gotta do what you're assigned. Absolutely. And like I said, that goes beyond a career path. That goes in life. You got to do what you're assigned. You may have the ability to help others and do other things, but if you don't do your role, you can't say nothing. And if you don't do your role, things go awry. You can't be like, hey, why you didn't do this? Oh, well, I was helping them out. Did you do what you were supposed to do? Did you do what you were supposed to do? I'm going to tell y'all, like I said, I'm going to be transparent, open. I remember my, one time I got into a discussion because I seen something that was happening, and some, like, the dishes needed to be washed, and I was washing them, but I'm like, that ain't mine. It was like you do that, and you're like, oh, you feel like you're doing something, but it's like, that ain't your job. Did you? I appreciate you. Look, I appreciate that, but did you do what was asked of you? Oh, you gotta do that bald-headed scratch. Mercer County Fire Buff said, that don't help, you just add into the chaos. Exactly. If you take care of your role and responsibility first, always know your role. Always tend to your role. So about that freelancing. Shout out the terms that I've learned over the years. So that is the nice bald-headed logic. Use it, know it, become it. And let it help you, in your journey. Now, we're going to get into the when I send you this meme, and then we get into the questions of the night. All right. So the meme, when I send you this segment, for those who are unfamiliar, this is when I hypothetically am sending a meme or a picture of a celebrity. And when I send that, it carries an additional meaning, okay, ulterior meaning. And the meaning can change depending on if I'm sending to the players or if I'm sending to the baddies. So tonight's when I send you this is sending you a picture of the king, LeBron James. Shout out LeBron. All right. If I send a picture of LeBron James to my player friends, that means it's your time now. I'm getting old. It's your time now. You, Luka, you gotta take over. You know what I mean? I can give you something every once in a while. I can give you 10 in a quarter, but I'm gonna be off for the next 3 games. It's your time now. All right? I need you to be Austin Reeves. Now, if I send a picture of LeBron James to the baddies, different meaning. Different meaning. And to quote the words of LeBron, if I send it to the baddies, no, I don't got a lot of hair, but I got a lot of something else. That ain't my words. Turn your freaky down. LeBron said that. I got a lot of points. I think that's what he meant. We don't even know. LeBron got a lot of points, a lot of money. He's correct, though. He don't got a lot of hair. And I appreciate LeBron for accepting. We are accepting this as a submission from LeBron. Damn, what's LeBron's middle name? LeBron King James. LeBron Raymond. LeBron James. We are accepting your application into Ball Brothers United because of your public declaration. We are proud. That's how you gotta act. We are proud to accept you with welcome arms. with your application comes a lifelong supply of shave cream, a bevel shaver, and aftercare, a scallywag balm kit to protect your dome, SPF 40, sunglasses. Bald head brothers gotta have sunglasses. Now we will make an exception because I see you still like rocking the do-rag. There is nothing to rag. It ain't a thing to wave up there but thoughts. But you are the king. You got the most points in NBA history, and I don't see nobody getting close. So maybe we'll let you keep wearing your do-rag. But understand, LeBron, there is not a damn thing for you to be protecting with that wave, with that do-rag. But you are still beloved as an NBA legend. All right. Now, y'all talk to me. Talk to me. Do y'all want to get into the questions? Or y'all want to talk about this Diddy documentary first? Because there's some things that's hurting my soul that need to be properly addressed. What y'all want to discuss? Y'all want to do questions? He said Diddy. All right. This week, I had the opportunity to watch with my girl. It's Key Story, baby. We got to watch the first episode of the Netflix documentary on Sean Puffy Puff Daddy Diddy Love Combs. And I then went home to watch the rest because I ain't want to kick my feet up and all that stuff at my artist place. I got respect. But so we watched Sean Combs The Reckoning, the Netflix miniseries produced by 50 Cent. And let me start by saying, and I would love for y'all, the viewers, to express how y'all felt about it. It was disheartening. It was surreal. It was a teachable moment in both the negative way that you think as well as positives. One thing that we identified in the space of the documentary was we identified what was working for him, of how he was able to get into the business and get where he wanted to be. Just his not saying his on his own, but his eye for what worked in the culture, and at the beginning his work ethic, and as well as his attention to the importance of visibility. We laugh about it, we joke about it, we remember the Suge Knight moment where it's like being all in the video. But those are the things that also helped to build the legend of Diddy as we knew him prior to the fallout. Now, that being said, there were a lot of things that were disheartening. Obviously, when you're talking about the sexual abuse, when you're talking about the manipulation of the artist and, his love interest, and just, for lack of a better word, the mental illness, which was compounded by the influence of drugs and fame. I found it unfortunate that we had a same What Tony Braxton say? It's another sad love song. It was the same old story that seems to break so many of our heroes. Jealousy, trauma from childhood, unhealed trauma, drugs, fame getting to you. All those things became a Molotov cocktail for the ridiculous behavior that he has shown and has been accused of. Now, the sad part for me is, as a young man that grew up in that era, I refuse to be a part of the revisionist history. The popularity that Bad Boy and Puff Daddy reached from the space of, let's say, 94 to the real heightened eras from 94 to, let's say, 2002, 2003. That's the golden eras. To them, 10 years. So we'll give it 10 years, right? But the prime is really 95 to about 99. 95 to 99. And that core of 4 or 5 years, depending on how you put it, forever shaped the face of hip hop and music today. And I've been seeing different people about, oh man, Diddy, man, he was always corny. We always thought he was corny. They're sharing the video of his verse from Dolly My Baby from Super Cat. And they was like, Diddy should get 10 more years just off of this alone. I was like, yo, y'all super extra. Even if it, depending on how you look at it, that song, that remix was crazy, especially with Biggie on there. And again, only from my vantage point, it's like, yeah, nobody threw him to the river about that. I feel like Diddy used to get made fun of, one, because he was a person of popular culture. So all the conversations about his teeth and him dancing all the time, it's like if he wasn't popular, if he wasn't relevant, it wasn't important. We made fun of Jay-Z's lips. We done made fun of Eddie Murphy's laugh. You know what I mean? Biggie being overweight. Everybody was made fun of. That doesn't mean that they weren't popular. They were huge. They were cultural icons. You know what I mean? So the revisionist history is crazy. Like Diddy was a star, and I've said this on multiple occasions. The image of Diddy and what I knew him as had a huge impact. It had a huge impact on me, even being a music executive or being interested in being in the music business. I ain't trying to get sued, but it's like, the Bad Boy logo, along with So Def and Rockefeller, those logos influenced the shaping of the Renaissance music logo. You know what I mean? If you ever hold them two together, you be like, oh. Not to be on no K-pop stealing, directly, but yeah, like nobody cares about a loser. They was super relevant, bro. Like they was different, bro. They was a soundtrack to my golden years. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my friend from, when I was a kid, and we was laughing at how, which is funny now I'm saying it, but that's because Mace took it to another level of being cool. But when More Money, More Problems came out, me and him was Mace and Puff in the talent show. And I was mad I had to be Puff only from the space because Mace was hot as fish grease. You know what I mean? But hey man, everybody was Bad Boy was just crazy, bro. When that Joker said, I can fill you with real millionaire shit. Escargot, my cargo, 160 swiftly. Like, and I'm in the back like Puff. But let's getting back to what we was talking about. The thing that I recognize about this thing is, in the hands of the wrong people, marketing can hide demons. You know what I mean? Marketing in the right hands helps to elevate and escalate who a person is, for people to see them, and visibility and branding. Branding is a little bit different because branding is just you positioning yourself how you want to be seen. But you know, the marketing of such is like how you get people to see you. And the way that Puff, who is a master marketer, marketing himself to people was as if he was as black excellence. And an element of that is true, not to take, you know, but behind that is a lot of darkness and a trail that leads to a lot of destruction in both the lives of artists, those who survived, and then unfortunately the ones that didn't, and then also the love interest. And Carol Lee Lion was good. Wave to your baddies, y'all. So for me, watching the Diddy documentary was really sad, because I'm like, man, the concept of what I looked at as black excellence and what I looked at as influencing an industry has so much turmoil and toxicity behind it. I feel like I was lied to. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm not the only one. I think of my boo, Faith Evans, my first crush. You know what I mean? And I remember them having issues with her contract negotiations. 112 helped me sing. You know what I mean? Mace had to peace out. Craig Mack having to witness that same age-old story. So the two stories it was several things that resonated with me about the documentary. The one thing was, damn, some of this stuff is straight out of a movie. One of the first things they say in the documentary was, man, Puff, before all this, he ain't smoke, he ain't drink, he ain't do none of that stuff. Damn, is you Paul Williams from the Temptations movie? They used to try to hand Paul the bottle. Paul said, please. Next thing you know, my boy, rest in peace. Rest in peace. For once in my life. My boy was going in at Thanksgiving, trying to get back into the group. But it's like, yo, I'm telling you, man, leave them drugs alone. Leave them drugs alone, man. It mess you all up. But then the other thing I was explaining to my uncle, because he didn't see it, was the way he played my boy Craig Mack. Craig Mack down and his wife down bad. Craig Mack and his wife down bad. Gotta ask the daddy to give him some money. Not Craig Mack daddy, his wife daddy, which is a ultimate. If you a man, the last thing you want is your woman's daddy to have to give you money, because you know you're gonna hear that bullshit. Excuse my language. So, got so bad, Craig Mack's wife is asking her daddy to help pay the bills. You got the #1 record in the country, hip hop record. Craig Max went to Diddy. He was like, hey man, we down bad right now. Can you spot me some money? So I can take care of some stuff and get you on the back end. They said his ex-wife said Diddy pulled out the knot like this, took one single $100 bill and said, here you go. There go the flavor in your ear. You know what I mean? I said, damn. First of all true players know I'm never pulling out the knot in front of you. Cause you gonna be pocket watching, and it's hella disrespectful. I would have did it. Mm-hmm. But I still would have gave you more than 100, especially when you the reason why I got this the knot in my pocket. Come on, man. That's craziness. I'm with you, Caroline. It's craziness. Don't do my boy. Don't do my boy Craig Mack like that. Craig Mack from Trenton too. Don't let him disrespect. Don't let him act like, oh, he from the Bronx. My boy was down. My boy from the town. You know what I mean? He used to be out here in Jersey. But that being said, a lot of shit, like I said, that scene is from the Teddy Pendergrass documentary. Teddy Pendergrass asked Harold Melvin from the Blue Notes, hey man, he was pump faking him to see how he was going to act. That's when Teddy said, I'm out of here. I'm about to be a superstar. Because he asked Harold Melvin for some money. Harold Melvin went under his mattress, had thousands, pulled one. What's up with the one? Give a nigga $500, man. Help him get on his feet. Excuse me, you got me cussing out here, Harold Melvin and Puff. But anyway, the other thing, bro, is I hate to use the trigger words, but like I said, the constant references to the narcissism and the fame. And everybody, like, as a person in the music industry, like, I'm monitoring all my artists, man, trying to keep an eye out, like, how they behave while I ain't saying we broke, we got a little bit, you know what I mean? But while we still are rising, you know what I mean? Like my girl Left Eye say. But you gotta monitor people's behaviors, because it's only when you get the bread, it only magnifies the traumas, the unhealed issues that you have, because now you got finances to mask over it, or, you know what I mean, to allow people to give you a pass. So that being said, I'm like, yo, when Puff was walking in there trying to holler at Kim Porter, knowing damn well that's Al B. Sure girl, somebody got to punch him in the mouth. You got to. Kill that shit immediately. You're not going to be out here while I'm over here, I can tell you how I feel. And he in the background over here dirty macking. And he was an habitual line stepper. Eric Sermon, again, that's the thing about documentaries. You never know if people be, putting on for the documentary. I know they've already kind of dissected, for lack of a better word, one of the scenes. But if Eric Sermon, if he swing on you, ain't no way we gonna go. First of all, why we going around the corner? I'm gonna hit you here. Secondly, when we get around the corner, you gonna play me the Biggie album? Damn the Biggie album right now. I'm gonna beat your ass, then I'm gonna listen to the Biggie album. Cause you got to learn your lesson. Eric Sermon, let me teach you something. Use my personal signature move, right? Damn, you gotta fake like you gonna give him a handshake. Check hook. All right. When he came to start playing that Ready to Die, give me the loop. When you listen to all of that, I'm like, oh, this is dope. Bop. Yeah. He get all that chin checking. That's what you got to do. Because he's still going to go holler at Misa. Now, I could understand if that wasn't your girl. But I've been there, and I know mad brothers that done been in that situation and like, oh, that ain't my girl. We just friends. You had feelings. You should have. That was your chance to seal the deal with Misa. But as Caroline said, a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of unfortunate circumstances. I've grew up my whole entire life, and then especially in that era as a fan of the East Coast, was rocking with Bad Boy and Biggie, and yeah, I was in there doom 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 doom. You know what I mean? All that stuff. I had the No Way Out. You know what I mean? As I said, y'all know how I feel. I can tell you if somebody wrong. I can tell you I rock with their music, but they was tripping. I grew up in that era, loved the music, all about the Benjamins, all that stuff. But seeing this stuff was so sad, super sad, and he preyed on young impressionable people, and it makes you think, man, about the music industry. But I was like, I see people all the time. I get messages with people requesting me to manage them and all that type of stuff. It's like, it's a huge responsibility when somebody looks up to you, man, or seeking some support or guidance from you, man. You can't manipulate them and take advantage. And the music industry is full of that predatory behavior. It's gotten somewhat better. You gotta talk like in that voice. But at the same time, man, it's like, yeah, it's still a lot of it in there. And it's like, yo, it can really set you back when somebody that you believed in and want to support, or that you wanted to support, is out here just doing some crazy stuff, bro. But I need people to use this as a lesson to understand, one, everybody is flawed. Stop deriding, you know what I mean? Because, this person got good production. Everybody got flaws. Love the music and keep it at that. Don't be acting like, oh my, this person can do no wrong. Yes, they can. And like I said, I send my thoughts and prayers to those who were abused. I send my thoughts and prayers to the people also that kind of were witness to this behavior and didn't have the skills or the resources to be able to speak up then. I don't judge, as a lot of people do, because y'all know my favorite saying, everybody know how to fight till you get punched in the mouth. We all can sit here and be like, oh, you all were complicit. And like, man, a lot of you all are complicit in a lot of things. And now, like I said, I've had my own experiences where I've witnessed people be complicit and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's one, they don't have the skill set. They don't have the support. They don't have the courage. And not even saying that in a bad way. It's just like, yo, courage is at it. Man, to have courage to do stuff, bruh, when it ain't no easy win, that's the true test of a man or a woman. Shout out to the women that speak up. Shout out to the men that be like, hey, bro, you tripping. Everybody been showing that clip of Nipsey Hussle when what's his name tried to what appears to be him trying to G-check Nip, and Nip was like, Nip was like, you ain't gonna tell the audacity of somebody to tell you shouldn't be clapping. But Nipsey Hussle was a grown man. Like, you say something like that to a 19-year-old, or you say that to somebody who's new in the industry and don't have no street testing, no experience of anything outside of that. It's like, yo, I look at the clips of how young Cassie was when he first met Cassie. It's like, damn, bruh. And as I'm saying, man, I ain't act like, oh man, like I know that my boy Diamond Girl. Now I can't say that Ryan Leslie was the answer, but I know damn well, like, hey, she got connected with the wrong person. And that thing can change your entire life. Got to be careful who you get close to out here, male or female. Lastly, turn your freaky down. Everybody, turn your freaky down. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was like, if a girl was like, oh, Ceddy, you a freak, I was like, yeah. But now I'm like, don't call me that. Don't disrespect me. I'm a child of God. You know what I mean? Because when you see what the freak level, the freak spectrum extends to, what did my bro say earlier today? Vanilla bean. You know what I mean? I'll keep you happy, but it ends there. Cause they body out here tripping. He was bringing the brother in to shake his ass for cash and for Cassie and in front of him. No, sir. No. I don't care how fine Cassie is. Sir, I have an issue with this. The way me and my Lord is set up, I can't do this. But it all, and then to, little affidavit, we got to get our money right, y'all. People be doing stuff for money. Puff was providing all these people with a lavish life. Listen, man. I've seen it with my own eyes. With my own eyes. People be mystified over this wonderful. Hey, appreciate you coming, my brother. No freaky. Appreciate you stopping by. You're always welcome back. Gotta actually get you on as a guest, man, because you got a lot of knowledge. But thank you for stopping by. But I feel like, listen, man, earn enough money in your life so that you don't have to be mystified by what people can do for you. Because again, another slippery slope. People, promising you and showing you this lavish life that you ain't have, and it don't mean nothing to them. You think because they doing it for you, it means something special. Trying to manipulate you. And on the other side, people, using that to manipulate you. Oh, you got to show me this lavish life. Get your bread up, yo. Get your bread up. And get your mental health up. So, let's quickly get into, I know I said a lot. I don't want to kill the mood. Let's quickly get into some questions of the night. Got a couple questions. We'll do our Playa Baddie of the week. Y'all make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all like the live. But let's get into the questions of the night. So the first question of the night. Sorry, y'all. This peach sparkling water is so delicious. The first question of the night is, in the space, we're going to do one from, a financial aspect, and then we'll do some stuff on dating. So the first question of the night is, would you take a pay cut? Would you take a pay cut to escape a toxic job? Would you take a pay cut to escape a toxic job? Mercer County Fire Buff said, yeah, it depends on how big the cut is. I understand. And Caroline said, yes, I'm literally, I think, if I'm being honest, I think it starts to lean towards like where you are in your life. Financial stability and financial growth is so important to us as youths, as young people. And it's like, hey man, I gotta do this, I gotta take care of this. And then it extends into you being able to take care of your responsibilities. So if you start accumulating responsibilities, kids, house, car, worldly possessions, then you start having to manage those, and it becomes even harder to leave because of your ability to manage those things. But then you reach a level, some reach this earlier than others, but where it's like, yo, my peace of mind, I need it. I'm of the belief system that peace of mind trumps all. You know, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Let the church say amen. That's real. I love the way that you put that so eloquently. I think you have to keep that in mind, because you'll go crazy. And then the tough part, bald-headed logic. And this is the thing, y'all. Let me just add this element. I was trying to explain this to a friend, and you will work a job. It will work you into the grave. They'll take all of that from you, and for when you are gone or when you leave, for them to say thank you, maybe get you a card. What they used to give you watches, and then fill your spot and be on to the next. And it happens over and over and over again. Which is why I need to define a role and a passion or a purpose where I felt like I was having an impact. And I was talking with my therapist. Oh yes, your boy is big on his mental. But we was like, you may have value at your job, but the value is not properly acknowledged or recognized, and that is where issues can occur. So you have to make sure that in any role, your job, your relationships, anything, you are getting the appropriate appreciation and reciprocity. Got to get those things. And if you need to take a pay cut to get out of a circumstance, then as the lovely Alex Vaughn would say, so be it. Okay? Yeah, I'm with y'all. With y'all 1,000%. Sometimes you gotta get on up out of there. You know what I mean? Now, I want to transition to the next question of the night, into the dating space, and then God will, girl. Look, when a woman say when a fine woman say something, you should be like, girl, like you're preaching. So the second question of the night: do you have a villain origin story, or you can just say, do you have an origin story in dating? Okay, so let me quickly give you what I mean, or a reference point. Do you have an origin story? Do you have a story of something that happened to you in dating, right, that made you change, do a 180, and make you like who you are now, or how you started dating moving forward? I'm going to show strength and transparency. I'll share mine. But do you have an origin story in dating? Like something that happened in your early dating that made you change and switch the style up. Switch up the tempo, like my boy Chris said. You know what I mean? I might have a couple, but I'm going to leave it. I'm gonna stick with one. So shout out my young days at the first historically black college, Ceddy University. I was a young man, still wet behind the ears, and I was a freshman, and it was a girl that I liked who was a sophomore. And I found myself trying to, put that work in. And what I decided to do was what we now know as the ultimate no. But I was going to try to surprise her and do something nice for Valentine's Day. There's a funny video series going around from these comedians, and the woman, her name is Daphne Springs. She's a funny comedian, and I don't know the other brother's name. Forgive me, but she'll be doing stuff. She'll be asking them stuff, and he'll be getting ready to do it, but he's in the friend zone, and she'll be asking him things to do that you really, you should only be doing for your girl. So he be getting ready to do it, and then this voice in his head be like, "That's not your girl. That's not your girl. That's not your girl." And so I wish I would have had that voice at the time. But anyway, I'm trying to holler at her or whatever, and I knew some people that were in the choir. I'm a freshman, okay? So remember this. I was young, wet behind the ears. So what I decided, I cook up this harebrained scheme, is that for Valentine's Day, I'm going to go to her room with some of the guys from the choir. I watch way too much TV. Just with some of the guys from the choir, sing some R&B with some flowers and all this other type of stuff, and say, "Happy Valentine's Day, you're going to be my Valentine's." Now, again, all this stuff is new to me. I'm going to the female dorm, so it's a wing full of girls. I come down there, I'm knocking, I know where her room is at, I knock on the door. And this is how stuff be so intricate, right? I knock on the door. A door from down the hall, like across the hall, opens it, and it's her best friend. She's like, "What you doing?" She's like, "Say, what you doing?" I was like, "I'm looking for such and such," right? So she goes, "Oh, nah, she says she sleep." I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna knock the door, I'm gonna wake her up, I'm here," or whatever, right? Knock on the door some more, The door, you start hearing some foot, some feet walking to the door. Door opens. It's a dude. All of the dudes in the choir said, "Oh!" They was like, the dude was like, "What's good, young man?" Young boy the shit out of me because he was an upperclassman. He was like, "What's good, young?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm looking for such and such." "Oh, all right, hold on a second." Homie in a wife beater. And I'm 18. I'm putting it together, but not. Shorty comes to the door. You already know what it is. Disheveled, to say the least. And she's like, "Hey, what's good?" I was like, "Yeah, I was trying to say Happy Valentine's Day." And she was like, "Oh, thank you," or whatever. I'm so disheveled, y'all. I'm like, I still gave her the candy. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, I was so salty. Yeah, she caught me super lacking. But first of all, shout out to the friend. Shout out to the friend for trying to like that. I'm getting mad on the job training. The friend looking out for her, for trying to get me to go away. Getting caught by the OG. I'm calling him the OG, but it's like whole situation turned out. I'm saying that was her man because that's what I remember. He might have just been clapping them cheeks, but it was, he was a fixture at least for Valentine's Day. And again, I was unhip to the game. I was not prepared for all of that, yo. So I was like, oh. And so then the choir, they can't really give me no game because they be singing and shit. So it's like my OGs from Yarnell Hall, shout out my boys, They put me on game. It's like, yeah, bro, it ain't like that up here. You gotta, if you doing all that, it's gotta be your girl. You know what I mean? And unlocked a savage. The crazy thing was, I still always, you can't venture too far away from who you are. Like, I'm always a kind man, but it took a long time to develop in terms of that whole nice guy thing that we preach avoiding being. You know what I mean? I had to learn how to separate that. Oh, my boy in here, Blanco, what's goody? So, it was a very strong learning lesson that I never remember going through again to that extent. Like, I would never, that changed how I looked at dating and all of that very, very early. Now, I did have some shorties, like I said, man, and I ain't learned the lesson completely. One thing about it is, man, if you meet you a baddie, everybody get a little, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to splurge a little bit, for the right baddie. But man, bro, the embarrassment when that door opened, and then I can still hear the choir because I forgot what they were singing. They were singing some R&B song, but when that door opened, they was like, oh. Oh man, I was like, yeah, yo. So that's my origin story. That's how the entire shift in how I started looking at dealing with girls. And the one thing that I'll say though is, the stuff that you see now where guys be so like almost anti-woman and vice versa, whatever. But I'm focusing on like the guys hating women and being like, yeah, see, she ain't this, whatever. What you bring to the table, all that. I never got that. First of all, that stems from hurt. That stems from hurt, and that stems from the inability to focus on what you need to do, right? Because if you're taking care of yourself, yo, like, if you taking care of yourself, man, you don't be worried about people that don't get it, because it's like you already know that you are dynamic. You know what I mean? And if somebody don't get the pictures, they just don't get it. They're not attracted to you. All right, keep it going. There will be others. But my origin story never made me like super bitter. You always had that like, oh man, damn, like why she don't see what's going on. She don't see the vision. But yeah, it definitely changed how I looked at like, yo, you can't be no super nice guy, bro. It's the thing that I learned over time that I share with the youngins. It's two things that I try to share with guys, both contemporaries or youngins, like, like my son or whatever, is when a woman likes you, like you have a small window. Mercer County Fire said, you're trying to holler at my boy Turnpike LG. But the one thing that I tell all youngins is like, first of all, be confident in yourself trying to holler, because everybody's going to get the butterflies. We all get the butterflies trying to holler at a girl, unless you just a cold-hearted, evil mother. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you just cold, everybody kind of feels a little bit when they holler at a girl. That's my boy. Tell him. Yeah. The youngins be coming out here and supporting. So, but I try to tell the youngins, be confident and be yourself. The second thing I tell them is like, don't be doing all that tap dancing, man. Don't be doing all that tap dancing. I associate trying to holler at I'm saying trying to holler, but approaching a woman. I try to address and correlate approaching a woman to being a football running back, right? When you get the ball, you're going to see the hole. No freaky. You have to hit the hole. Again, no freaky. You have to make the move and be direct and diligent, because if you tap dance, oh, Bean, my boy, what's goody? When you don't do that, bro, like, women will sour on you quickly. And I'm not saying that like I'm some super, like I'm a player, Dr. Love. It's just experience and just truth. You will have a woman's attention. When you have her attention, you better make the move and capitalize, because once you don't, then it's like, what Swiss Beat say? On to the next. On to the... Listen, and it'll happen quicker than you imagine. He said, I lost a few messing around. Yeah, when you look back over your life, like they say at church, you know what I mean? You be like, dang, I could have really had that, but I was tap dancing. So that's the second thing I say. And then the third thing I say is, hey man, like, ain't no love lost. It's like, listen, I'm gonna be myself. And this is over years of thinking, but I'm gonna be myself. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Especially if it's GTD. If it's GTD, then this was a win all across the board. And I ain't even trying to say that on no sexes, nothing like that. If we got to spend quality time together, oh, well, it's like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? I made the All-Star game. I ain't win the chip. But, you know, I got a second contract. And that's how you got to look at this stuff. You know what I mean? You can't be out here, you know, dwelling or being sad, feeling all sorry for yourself. That don't work. All right. Now, I want to quickly, I'm going to get through the Playa and the Baddie of the week, and then we're going to finish up with Ceddy's recipes to finish the night. If y'all feel like taking it over to YouTube, I might take this over to YouTube tomorrow. You know, it's getting late, but I love to when my people on Instagram is showing love. But the Playa and the Baddie of the week. First, the Playa, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur. Let the bling, let it hit the light, let it twinkle and glisten. My boy first of all, I don't want to overdo it like I see so many others. Like, the brother is still Deion Sanders' son, y'all. He gonna be all right. But in the terms of chasing your dreams and pursuing your goals, we all know what that is like. And to have the man trying to hate on you, but you still push through and you still succeed despite the hate, despite the downplaying and diminishing. My boy has showed up and showed out, hitting them like he on Madden, throwing them darts. You know, went for 364 yards. The Browns still stink, still losing games, but they have a level of excitement and there's interest because of Shedeur. We applaud your discipline. We applaud your hard work and staying with the goal. So for that, we name you Playa of the week. All right. Now, for the Baddie of the week, I got to go. We're saying somewhat around sports, but we're going to the world of journalism, and we got to give a shout out to the journalist Ashley Nicole Moss. All right, Ashley Nicole Moss, journalist, basketball analyst and host. She's also the host of 106 in Sports, the new show with Cam Newton. And for those that are in the know, like, first of all, the The journalist, the professional baddie, I love it. Y'all already know how I feel about my girl Taylor Rooks. But the professional baddie, very near and dear. And she is in the next wave of superstar black journalists. And she happened to post a pic. I'm assuming it's from Art Basel, because if anybody knows, Art Basel is where the professional baddies be. But she posted the pic of her in a dress, partying, having fun, and that went viral. And the way people was responding to it was crazy, bro. I was like, hey, yo, like, I know I speak, I be hype about my girl Taylor, but it'd be interesting to see how people be posting about the ladies. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, somebody said, I think the picture was posted a couple of days ago. Sorry, y'all. The peach with sparkling water. It was posted a couple of days ago, and somebody had retweeted it, and they was like, I'm sitting on the couch still thinking about that picture. I'm like, damn, is she the future? Cause that's crazy. And mad people was posting about it. And you gotta listen, man. You gotta respect the baddies, bro. Cause everything goes full circle. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's like the window, just like in music, the window of being fine and being the elite moves fast. So you got to enjoy your window. You got to make the most of it. Get your opportunities and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because somebody's always ready to try to. That's the way they treat us in the black world. You know what I mean? Only a few of us can be there at a time. We got to overcome. We got to overcome that. But anyway. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? I love the fact that she's having her moment of being both a respected journalist, but also being fine. So I love that, and hoping that, you know, she continues on in her journey and having success. So shout out to the player and the baddie of the week. If you want to nominate a player or the baddie of the week, just DM your boy. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, what have you. Somebody, it could be a regular civilian or a celebrity. They just got to be doing their thing. And if they fine, they fine. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, to close tonight, I want to celebrate with Ceddy's Recipes. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the show and this segment, Ceddy's Recipe is where we highlight a tradition or custom of yesteryear from the black community, the black culture, and we share it with the youth so that they can maintain that or bring it back, because it was vital to our existence. It was vital to our success and our legacy. In the past, we've used such informal customs as playing spades, not splitting the pole, the phrase "God is good," which is followed by all the time. Uno, the movie Meteor Man, which we talked about, referenced earlier, late night drives with your baddie, or, making playlists. Tonight's recipe, near and dear to my heart. I was driving the other day, and some music came on, and I was like, oh, you brought me back. You brought me back. So tonight's recipe is motivation rap. Motivational rap. All right? This is a specific genre of rap or hip hop that has gone awry, has lost its grip on the community. And we got to bring it back. There were rappers throughout the history, primarily the late 90s and 2000s, that will make records that will have you get on your grind. You know what I mean? Get on your hustle, get on your grizzly. We don't have a lot of that. Got a lot of emotional stuff. Got a lot of, we got the women are dominating. A lot is a lot of, I'm That B, a lot of twerking records, a lot of female empowerment records, which we all need those, but we also need the grind records. We need the grinding records. We need the hustle joints. And you don't realize how important those records are until you done been through something, or you had a song that had you get on your shiznit. You know what I mean? You ain't been through nothing if you ain't been in the car with a single tear coming down your cheek talking about we gon' make it. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know the real words, but tuck the frail chips. You know what I mean? Like, when that beat come on, you like, yo, I can run through a wall. And that's how we navigated all of our problems. We ain't had no therapists. We had Jada Kiss. You know what I mean? It's a difference. That's what got us through back then. Cause when the coke come in, I gotta use the scale that they weigh the whales with. And I ain't sold Nathan. But I understood the plot. I gotta get to work. Cause we gonna make it. If you have ever listened to the song What We Do by Freeway featuring Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel, to this day, if you turn that on, we going crazy. We going crazy. I saw a tweet about it. It was like, it needs to be studied what is in this song that has people turn up like this. It's real. We still hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 when the sun go down. It's a cold winter. Y'all chickens better bundle up. And it's like, yo. Cause when my sneaks start leaning and my heat stop working and my heat start working, I'm around me a person. Brother, I lived in Marsville. I was not robbing nothing. But I knew the struggle. And whatever your struggle, that's the thing. That's what motivational rap is so important. Because whatever struggle is appropriate for you, you got it. And you need something to help you get through it. Motherfucker, jokers in Marsville had about to get their lights turned. You know what I mean? Jokers in Marsville trying to find a way to pay them bills. Ain't everything sweet. But we had motivational rap. And motivational rap is more prevalent than ever now because you an adult and you working at your punk ass job trying to figure out how am I going to get to the level of financial stability, financial comfort, so I can tell these people to kiss my black, you know what? Gotta say that because mama watching. And them songs help you push through. What my boy say, if I get rocked, this for my kids. Y'all out here making songs for the I'm looking for the O's. After O's. This for my kids. That's a different type of struggle. That's a different type of reality. When you got to do it for my kids, oh, you locked in. Bring back motivation rap, bro. Shout out Jadakiss. Shout out Freeway, DMX. I'll even go as far as, because there's different types of motivation rap. I'll give you Rick Ross, because some of that swimming in women, champagne sipping, gold emblem with 2 M's. Yo, That's my song. Or the Maybach music. Or the Aston Martin music. Meek. You know what I mean? What's your favorite motivational song? What's your favorite motivational rap song? That's what, like, when I hear my artists drop them that motivation rap records, oh, I'll be turned. When I hear that Quest, it's two songs. It's Best of the Best and it's Blue Diamonds. When I hear that, late night, no sleep, overnight, overtiming, ain't happening. When we want it, when it happen, what? Mercer County Fire Buff, we gotta get you a motivational song. I'm gonna send you some motivational song. I'm gonna send you some of that Johnny Quest the Rebel. Cause you need something that push you when you don't feel like you got it. When you ain't got nothing, you got that. Them songs, boy, I'll tell you, they done pushed me when I didn't know. I didn't know if I was gonna do it. I wasn't sure. That song, Best of the Best by Johnny Quest the Rebel. Like I said, I know the song starts. I woke up feeling like the best of the blessed. Excuse me. I woke up feeling like the best of the best. Blessed. Never could I see myself stress how they stress. Thank the Lord that I passed every test when you test. Apply press, then I get the weight up off of my chest. It's like I'm ready to go. You need a song like that. But y'all drop y'all favorite in the chat, or when y'all see this, y'all hit me and let me know what y'all favorite motivation rap records is. Let's bring it back, y'all. We gotta bring it back. But listen, y'all, this concludes a hell of an episode. I appreciate all y'all for pulling up. Appreciate y'all for inspiring me. You know, especially the earlier in the episode, making sure that I get my butts. You know, I go get my Grammy tickets. You know what I mean? So I could show, you know, represent for my people and make sure that we just keep rising and keep grinding. Okay? But y'all know what it is, man. It's much love. It's much love. It's always love. And I thank y'all for being part of this journey. I thank y'all for coming through and stopping by. Keep it going, but y'all know the rules. Keep it blessed, keep it real, but always keep it playing. We out.